Okay, well, welcome this morning. I'm really happy that you could all come out today. It means a lot to have both staff members and parents sit down and just listen to sort of what my high school experience has been like. When I was going through this presentation, sort of deciding what I wanted to include, I think my biggest challenge was really just deciding what I wanted to actually talk about in the short time of 15 minutes. I went through so many different activities and different classes throughout high school that I just had to decide what I really wanted to include. And I think that was my biggest challenge in high school too, was just deciding where I wanted to put my time with so many different interests. So beginning as a freshman, I'll sort of walk you through my 4 years of high school. As a freshman, I think the biggest challenge was just sort of getting used to being in a high school setting, a new schedule, a bigger campus, but I really got used to that pretty quickly and enjoyed my freshman year a lot. I was asked to audition for the jazz choir because I played drums, and the drummer that was graduating the year before knew that I played and asked if I wanted to audition. I never really saw myself as being in choir in high school, but I thought, sure, I'll try it out, and auditioned, and really choir has transformed since then to be one of the biggest parts of my high school experience. Also, I started off classes strong academically with a 4.0 GPA my freshman year. I was also elected freshman class president and also played both water polo and soccer on the JV squads, and that was a great way to get to know a lot of new kids that I hadn't gone to middle school with, and really just involve myself in groups throughout high school. Also, snowboarding has been a huge part of my high school life. Basically every weekend possible, I go up to the Mount Hood with friends and family and just have a great time up there. I love snowboarding, so that's also been a big part of high school for me. My sophomore year, I feel the biggest challenge was that the workload really began to increase. I had a lot of projects sophomore year, and sophomore year sort of has that reputation, so there was a lot of busy work, and I was definitely studying a lot more, but it was manageable. I think my favorite class was honors biology. I love the sciences, and Mr. Segrimus, who's retiring this year actually, was just amazing. I had a lot of fun with him, and that was also one of my favorite projects throughout high school, was the plant project that we did at the end of the year, sort of a culminating project where you walk through the forest and just pick plants and identify them, and then put together an entire book, which I actually have on the table. So if you want to sort of leaf through the presentation or my project there, it was a lot of fun. Also, pre-calculus with Mrs. Hovig was awesome. Ms. Hovig's an amazing teacher, and I loved math that year. Spanish and choir with Mr. Reuter and Mr. Mitchell also I became really interested in. And I also played both water polo and soccer again, and lettered for my first time in soccer my sophomore year. Of course, sophomore year you take the HISPE. I did well. I got 4s in all 4 categories, so I was happy with my scores, and it was an overall relatively painless process, so yeah. Then as a junior, I think that's really when I felt classes became much more difficult. Just the material in the classes was a lot more challenging, and the tests were, I definitely had to study a lot for, but I did well. 3 of my favorite classes, Honors US History, AP Calc, and Honors Chemistry, were probably my 3 most rigorous classes, but I think I really do just love to learn new material, and that was one thing I really loved, was just learning about those subjects. Honors Chem with Miss Princehouse specifically was one of my favorite classes of high school. I just really loved Chem, and Mrs. Princehouse was an amazing teacher, and now I'm thinking about going on and doing more work in Chem in college. Also, Roundball Rowdies I became very involved with, basketball and football games. We made t-shirts, cheered everyone on at the games, and that was a lot of fun. Science Club, I was elected the treasurer, and I also participated in the Science Olympiad for the first time that year. And I was also elected vice president of choir and the treasurer of jazz choir. So my leadership roles really began to increase my junior year, and I really had to step up. And because of that, I was sort of forced to stop playing water polo. It just conflicted with too many other things and too much on my plate. So I loved water polo, really thankful for the 2 years that I got to play, but I did continue to play soccer, and junior year is my first year full-time varsity. It was a lot of fun that year. Oh, there we go. As a senior, I signed up for few too many things, and I'd put a little too much on my plate. So that was my biggest challenge senior year, was basically running on 5 hours of sleep every single night. That was not exactly fun, but I really wouldn't change anything about my senior year. I was involved in so many different activities that I'm so proud of that I don't think I could have just given any of them up. Two of my favorite classes were AP Literature and Honors CWP in Civics. I took AP Lit from Mr. Smith, and he really just opened my eyes to sort of the English, academic English world, and really reading deeper into a text and not being able to just understand everything the first time you read it. There's so much more that the authors have put into the works, and I really enjoyed that, just really digging into literature. Also, Honors CWP in Civics was probably the most challenging class personally for me in high school. History isn't my favorite subject, but Mr. Clokey is such a passionate teacher that it's still just an amazing experience, and I really had to study hard for tests in civics and CWP, but it was a lot of fun overall. Choir, I really stepped up, I feel, senior year. I was the jazz choir president, made it into the all-state jazz choir, which is only 24 students in the entire state. I was a state qualifier in 2 events competitively, and also won 2 different soloist awards at each competitive jazz festival that we attended this year. So choir really has become, and music in general, has become a big part of my life, and something that I'm really excited to continue collegiately in the next 4 years. Being done with Spanish, as a senior I had an open elective class, and so I decided to become involved with our DECA chapter, and that was successful as I ended up being one of the top 16 competitors in the world in the event that I did, which was a 30-page written project as well as a 15-minute presentation, both at the state level and internationally. My partner Maverick Knowles and I, we put together what we called the Spirit Shack. You might have seen it at basketball games, but we renovated the entire space and raised over $2,000 for our DECA chapter, which was a lot of fun, but a lot of work as well, and something that I'm really, really proud of. It was awesome getting on stage in Salt Lake City in front of thousands of students from all across the world and being top 16 of all of them, so that was awesome. Our soccer team went top 16 in state this year as well, so that was a great time, and I am valedictorian of our class, so I feel very accomplished as in my 4 years academically. My SAT scores, I took my first test as a junior in June, the day of prom actually. It's sort of notorious for that, but then I took it again in November of this year, my senior year, and I scored a 1940 improved all 3 of my scores the second time I took it. So I was proud of my scores, and it got me into all the universities that I wanted to attend, so that really helped me out. As a civic contributor, I've really fallen in love with just working with the youth in our community. That's been my big thing. As Young Life student leader for both high school and middle schoolers, as well as being on the music team, with my own church, St. Rose, as well as being involved in both the Teen Mentor program the past 2 years and being a CISPAS outdoor school counselor this past fall for Columbia Heights Elementary 5th graders. I've just fallen in love with working with the kids in our community, and it's really just a cool feeling to know that they look forward to you coming, and they don't really realize, but you look forward to going as well. It's a lot of fun hanging out with them, and this was my mentee last year, Jorge, and he's a 6th grader now, and I have a new mentee this year, but we play a lot of tetherball, a lot of basketball, help him with his homework, and really just I'm a good friend for sort of an underprivileged kid at Northlake Elementary School. So that's been really a lot of fun and totally worth all the time I put in. In total, I've documented over 300 hours of community service, both through the school and in the community, and hundreds of more hours undocumented service. So service has definitely been a big part of my high school career. So Longview School District has these 6 exit outcomes that they hope all graduating seniors have fulfilled. So I've sort of defined how I think I've fulfilled each of these outcomes. As a responsible citizen, I've stepped up in several leadership positions between science club, several choir positions, and also being involved in student government. And I feel that I've really been well-rounded in the classes I've taken, the activities I've been involved in, and I can really relate to a wide variety of students and just people in our community, which I think helps me be a responsible citizen that does give back to our community. As a quality producer, I feel that being the valedictorian of our class has definitely been a good reflection of my work academically in high school. And as a resourceful thinker, I've taken a big mixture of both left brain artistic classes as well as right brain sort of more mathematical thinking classes that I think has been able to help me think both outside the box and creatively and inside the box analytically. And I really think my involvement in the arts has been eye-opening for me and has helped me in all parts of my life. So I feel I'm definitely a resourceful thinker through our high school. As an effective communicator, I've taken collaborative classes, social studies, English and Spanish classes. I'm always one of the top participants and sharing my opinion and asking questions in class. And I like talking, and I'm a social person, so I've had fun in those classes just collaborating and sort of debating with other students on their opinions of things. My busy schedule throughout high school has sort of forced me to be productive. There's no way that I could have done all the things that I did do if I wasn't as self-directed as I was throughout high school. And as a knowledgeable person, my advanced level honors and AP classes have really opened my eyes to new things and helped me decide what I want to continue studying in college in the next year. Speaking of college, I'm going to the University of Washington. So excited about my choice, and it was a tough choice. I applied to I think 8 schools and had to decide between all of them, but decided on good old UW, and really excited to move up to Seattle. I'm still sort of debating. Right now I'm thinking I might be a music history major while taking pre-dental science classes, which will result in probably either a biology or chemistry minor. I love the sciences and mathematics, as well as I have a huge passion for music, so I'm excited of studying both these things at the next level. It's also a possibility that I may major in chemistry or biology and decide to just minor in music, but either way, those are definitely going to be the 2 subjects that I spend the most time on in college, and I'm honestly just really, really excited about that. Also, I plan after school, after my undergraduate years, to apply to dental school and become an orthodontist. So I've always sort of liked puzzles. I've been interested in problem solving, things like that. So I think being an orthodontist would be a great career for me to decide, every single patient is different, and you have to figure out with the tools you have how you want to make sure everything fits in the right places. I think that'll be a fun thing for me and something I won't get bored of over the years. Also, like I said, I'm a social person, so I think that I'll do well talking to my patients as well. Like I've said, I've really been so thankful for all of the opportunities that I've had at Mark Morris in the past 4 years. High school has really given me the chance to decide what things I really, really want to continue on pursuing in my future, and being interested in so many different subjects and so many activities, that was a huge struggle for me, was deciding what I really could spend my time on. But I think high school has really opened my eyes to the things that I'm very passionate about, and I'm excited in pursuing all these things at the next level. So thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.